Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the TNRE experience, and just like that, it seems to be episode number 98. Who knew? Thank you for listening. I am today going to be talking about something that happened to me on Instagram. It wasn't bad or anything, but someone sent me a DM and I had this whole thought after that, and I realized I do talk about it in my workshops as well. So I got a DM on my Instagram where someone looked at my Instagram page and said, you have 50,000 followers on Instagram, you have a verified profile, but your engagement seems to be dead. D-E-A-D, D-E-D, dead, dead, dead. That is true. I guess if you use the metrics that are being talked about today, that your page needs to have engagement, you need to have a lot of people commenting on your page, a lot of people liking your updates, a lot of people saving your updates, maybe even resharing them on their platforms, etc. And they were offering me help to help increase the engagement of my Instagram page if they thought it was a concern for me. Now, at the outset, I would like to say that there are people who can help you do this. If this is your goal, if your goal is to increase the engagement of your Instagram page, there are professionals who can help you do this legitimately, not necessarily by buying followers or buying comments, buying likes, buying video views. You can buy everything these days. There are people who can legitimately help you increase your Instagram page's engagement. Now, my answer to them was, no, thank you. This is not something I'm interested in, mainly because that's not my goal. My goal as an entrepreneur, as a creative, is not to increase the engagement on my Instagram. That is a part of what happens as I share my work online. It is not the goal. You know what I mean? It's not my primary focus. My primary focus is to create, it is to engage with people, which I do, by the way, in my DMs. I chat with people, I have phone calls, I meet people, I run on-ground workshops, I go to events, and I meet people face to face. So as far as engagement is concerned, I do engage with people individually. So, having someone comment on my Instagram post is nice. It's a nice bonus, yes. Having someone save it for whatever reason, having someone reshare it to their network for whatever reason, yes, these are nice bonuses. It's always nice to have. I always say thank you. I always respond to comments, but that is not my goal. So one of the modules in my workshop is called #goal kya hai, which means what is your goal? And I tell my workshop participants, and I remind myself all the time, that whenever I see someone doing something and I'm like, oh, that looks so cool, I should also give that a shot, right? Someone will start doing Instagram live videos, there's IGTV, someone will start a YouTube channel, whatever. People do a bunch of things these days. There's too much happening online. I find it hard to keep up with. I do get tempted when I see others doing all these things, but I remind myself and I always ask myself, Naina, goal kya hai? Because I don't know why the other person is doing it. I don't know what their motivations are. I don't know what their brand goals are. I know nothing about them or their brand. It's just someone who has an online profile who decides to do X. It's the same application. I mean, you look at me doing these videos, for example, and you might think, oh, I should try a podcast. Sure, yes, please try it. But keep in mind that it's not for everyone. B, what is your motivation of doing it? If your motivation of doing a podcast is only because Naina has a podcast, I would highly recommend that you sit down and reconsider. Maybe reframe your goal there. Your goal might be to, I do these podcasts because I do have things to talk about. And a lot of times what happens is when I go out and I meet people at events, I feel that we do have important conversations, but I feel that it's just between these two people, like me and someone else. And I think these conversations are important and relevant to others who might not be eavesdropping or hearing or, know what we're talking about. So my reason for doing these podcasts, which are just these talking head videos, which means it's just me, my face, and I'm just talking to, people who are listening to this, assuming someone's listening to it. And I talk about things that affect me, that I feel passionate about, and I think are relevant to a lot of people in India especially, which is why most of what I talk about is India-centric. So that was my goal. And of course, I was intrigued with podcasts and I wanted to start it. But my goal was clear that this is what I want to do, and I continue to do it. Don't, increasing your engagement on a platform is ideally not a goal of a brand. That should not be your primary goal. For example, I'll tell you, most of the audience or some of the relevant audience for me are, for example, magazine editors, okay? Or online digital platform, print magazine, etc. Photo editors, for example, people who hire photographers for publications, etc. I have brand owners, right? Luxury brands in India and internationally, they're brand managers, for example. VP of marketing. These are the kind of people who follow me on Instagram. You should understand the kind of profile of these people. They are not going to spend hours a day on Instagram liking content or leaving comments or resharing it to their audience, because their audience is usually smaller and even more targeted, in the sense that it might just be friends and family for them, and they might not be sharing work related stuff on their Instagram. I am not expecting them to engage with my content in the traditional sense. So that is never my goal, and I don't want that at all. If someone leaves a comment, like I said, it's a bonus, it's fantastic, and thank you. But if you don't leave a comment and you are, you just hit like once in a while, but you're still keeping tabs on what I do, and you actually end up hiring me for a photo shoot, for example, or you buy my art, or you come to my workshop, you are the most important person for me, because you are actually putting money where your mouth is. That is my goal. I want to be a successful entrepreneur, and by successful, I don't mean I want to make billions. I want to be able to sustain my career till I die. So that is my goal. It's not to engage with random strangers on Instagram for the heck of engagement. So, when you say like, oh, your engagement is dead, yeah, what does that exactly mean? So I really wanted to talk about this because I think a lot of us get lost in this thing of, engagement nahi aa rahi hai Instagram mein, I have 50,000 followers hai, engagement is less than 0.4%, and the industry says that it should, you're dead, it should be at least 4% is fantastic. Please, you have to understand the context behind all of this. What is the meaning of all these numbers? At the end of the day, are you making sales? At the end of the day, do you have people talking to you? Are you going for events and actually networking and meeting people and creating communities and building relationships? Please understand that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the platform is, which is why one of the modules in my workshop is also called #FuckThePlatform, because I truly believe that all these social media platforms, I am on YouTube, I'm doing a podcast on Anchor, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, Facebook personal profile, Facebook business profile, I'm on Pinterest, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm even on TikTok. These are mediums. But what is your message? If your message is not clear, you could use all the mediums in the world and do nothing. So always ask yourself, what is the goal here? Again, I'm not trying to delegitimize people who are actually trying to help people gain more engagement on their Instagram. They might be doing a good job. I don't know. I've never worked with anyone like that, and I don't plan to, because that is not my goal. Second point I wanted to make in this was that, a lot of people will write to you and say, oh, I can help you out with this and I want to work with you. Okay, I appreciate the interest, but why would I work with a complete stranger on the internet? I have never interacted with you before your DM to me. I don't know you from Adam. I've never met with you. I've never spoken with you. And you want me to trust you with a brand that I have built over the last 15 years, the work that I have put in, the relationships that I have built. And suddenly you just want me to give it to you and be like, okay, yeah, you go manage this. That's not going to happen. You have to make a really strong case customized to what I do and Nena.co, and say something that is relevant to me and will make me think that, oh yeah, okay, so this person has spent some time doing their research and they do have something to offer. Share other case studies with me. Otherwise, you're just another flake on the internet, another stranger on the internet who has DM'd me, and I don't care. Please remember always, goal kya hai and fuck the platform. What is your message? who are you? What are you trying to do? And then use these platforms to spread your message, reach out to other people, engage with them in DMs, talk to them, hopefully meet them if they are in the same locality, or if you ever travel to a different place, make sure you go and meet people who are there and build connections and build communities. It is always going to be about actual relationships. I know everyone talks about artificial intelligence and Elon Musk Neuralink and things like that. And yes, it's coming and it's technology and it's fantastic and we must embrace it. But I think face-to-face relationships are just never going to change as long as human beings exist in this form. So yeah, I really feel passionately about this. Thank you for listening. And I am looking forward to doing the 98th episode of the NENA Radio experience. Thank you for listening. Bye.